Manchester United. Yes, people, you know the face, you know the name. Aaron here, back again with another video. Shout out to everyone tuning in, showing love and support every single time. It's road to 15K, so if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, and if you want to actively support this channel, make sure you like, share, comment, subscribe. All of that good stuff, man. It helps the channel massively. Listen, you can tell I'm deflated, man, because, yeah, man, listen, you've seen the title, you've seen the thumbnails, or the thumbnail, sorry. No more signings. No more signings for Manchester United in the January transfer window. As I'm recording this, it is bang on 8 o'clock. Don't know if you can see this. There you go. 8 o'clock. The transfer window shuts in 3 hours. I don't think United are going to get something over the line. I think the timing of it would be too... It'd be in a rush. Do you know what I mean? And it would probably be a panic buy if we tried and got anyone over the line at this point. Reports came out a couple of hours ago, and those reports are saying that as it stands, United don't think they need to get anyone over the line before the 11 p.m. deadline. And the official explanation to that report is the January transfer window was more about getting the house in order for summer. Now, of course, we've seen Dorgu, who's come in. We've seen Aiden Heaven, who's come in. I don't really think Aiden Heaven's going to be part of the first team. Something tells me he will, though. He'll get a few minutes because they gave him the number 26 and they unveiled him at Old Trafford with Patrick Dorgu. So something tells me he's going to get minutes. How many? We don't know yet. Remains to be seen. But it is a disappointment. And I'll probably speak about different aspects of this in this video. The first aspect is a lot of people left. Now, I do understand that we had to bring the wage bill down, and with the departures of Rashford, with the departures of the likes of Anthony, Malacia, who's on his way to PSV as we speak. I think the medical has to be done, and it's, you know, they're getting it over the line as well. With significant departures, we've managed to bring the wage bill down by a lot. I think I read something that said that the wage bill now is half of Manchester City's, which is good. Excuse me, which is good in the grand scheme of things. I just would have liked us to replace those players that we let go. I would have liked to see replacements come in, but I do understand when they say that, you know, the January transfer window was to get the house in order for the summer. Now, what that means, in my opinion, is they've let these players go out on loan. If these players hit form, that means there's more traction. That means that there's more interest. And those players are more likely to leave early into the summer window, which was something that proved to be a bit difficult in the winter transfer window because Anthony, big wages, wasn't doing well, difficult to find suitors. Rashford, big wages, wasn't doing well, difficult to find suitors. So it makes sense from a business standpoint because you've got to look at it from different perspectives. From a business standpoint and from a standpoint of what Inos are trying to do in terms of reducing all of the unnecessary, reckless spending that has been going on at this club for far too long, they're doing a good job. And in terms of the players, because this is, how do I split this video? Because I'm going to intertwine into different topics. I hear and see a lot of people criticize Ineos. Now, again, when it comes to the financial part of the club, I've got nothing to say about Ineos because they're doing the right things. Listen, unfortunately, people got sacked. Let's just say it how it is. People got sacked from the club. Significant changes happened. Significant spending has been reduced. No Christmas party. The paying for staff to attend FA Cup parties after we won it, etc., etc. All of that's been reduced. A lot of people complained. Oh, this is what Ineos is doing. Why is Ineos doing that? Ineos this, Ineos that. From that perspective alone, I'm not talking about the players and bringing in players and backing Amorim, all of that. No, I'm purely talking about the financial part first of all. I don't think they're doing a bad job because we kept complaining about the Glazers, the Glazers, the Glazers. And by the way, this Glazer thing that's been going on, nobody was talking about people were talking about the Glazers when Fergie was here, but Fergie proved that with a good team around you, with the good recruitment, it is possible to win trophies under this regime. It's not it wouldn't be the first time that we see this. So it isn't impossible to win trophies under this regime. It is possible. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know why people are complaining. Another reason why I don't understand why people are complaining about Ineos, and I'm talking about a specific type of people now. Yeah, this is a different aspect that I'm looking. This is a different view, a different standpoint. A lot of these people online, when it came down to making a choice, or when it came down to United having the choice to either go into business with Sir Jim Ratcliffe and Ineos, or go into business with Sheikh Jassim. When it came to that choice, not that us fans had much choice, a lot of people said, and wrote a lot of things online. So I'm speaking to those specific people only. A lot of you deserve this. A lot of you deserve this. And I'm telling these specific people, it's time for you to back your chat. Because when it was time to do up lip service online and explain to us people, because you guys seem to be the experts in business, when it was time to explain to us people and trying to convince us that Ineos money was money from heaven and Jassim money was money from the devil, you guys were at the front. You guys were had front row seats, not even front row seats. You guys were on stage trying to convince us to believe in what Ineos was doing or was going to do. Because Sir Jim Ratcliffe, born in Fellsworth, was going to put the Manchester back in Manchester United. He's a Manchester United fan. Well, the Manchester United fan is doing what you guys have been complaining about for far too long, which is the reckless spending. So, yes, I do agree that Amorim should have been backed. Yes, I do agree that some of the players that we let go of should have been replaced. However, is this not the very thing that the Glazers used to do? When things were going bad, and then we started to panic buy, and then we end up with players that we don't even need at the end of the day. Is this not what the Glazers did? When we had a problem, throw money at it. We had a problem, throw money at it. We have an issue, throw money at it. Ineos is thinking about things a bit different. So it's very, very ironic that, listen, this is not everybody out there. Some people actually think about it properly, and shout out to those people. A lot of my guys are within that category. However, it's very ironic that these same people now demand Ineos to be splashing 50, 60, 70 M's on set player, this player. Why don't we go for 8 Nuri? Why don't we splash 60 M's on Kirkes? This is the exact same thing that the Glazers would have done. But yet you want the Glazers out. And now, the people that were advocating for Ineos, all of a sudden now, Ineos are doing up Glazonomics. No. It's time to back your chat now. It's time to back your chat, because when Jassim wanted to take over, it was sports washing. Doesn't fit within the culture. But now that when it was Ineos, it was, yes, money's from God himself. Jassim's money's from the devil. Can't touch that. Like, we all don't know what wealthy people do to get to that type of... Anyway, I digress. It's time to back your chat now. It is time to back your chat. Back Ineos now. And listen, I look at it from a neutral standpoint. I think, again, The financial part, amazing job. They're doing extremely well, in my opinion, reducing every cost possible to make sure that the finances of the club are normal again. That's my view on it. However, when it comes to the players, I do think, improvements could have been made. We should have replaced some of the players that left. Do I agree with some of the players that we got linked with? Not all of them. The likes of Leon Bailey, I didn't agree with it. I agreed with somebody like Matisse Tell. I was open to him joining the club. But apparently something happened there with the 5 million fee that we didn't pay because him going to Spurs is a straight loan, by the way. It's a straight loan. There's no buy option. So essentially he's just going to develop somewhere. So Spurs are happy with Tell just developing at Spurs and then going back to Bayern Munich. And apparently Man United didn't want that. And if you really think about it, it's actually not that bad of an idea to not sign him. Because if, again, you've got to think logically here. If we're trying to sign players for the future, if we're trying to bring people to the club that are going to be committed, why would we sign somebody on loan without an option to buy just to send him back to his parent club at the end of the season? Essentially, we pay for someone to come on holiday. Really and truly. Now, I know people in the comments are going to say, yeah, but we did the same with Rashford. Again, I explained it. That's for them to do well so that when they do come back, we have suitors and we get suitable offers to then sell them properly for a good fee. And maybe that's what Bayern Munich are trying to do. Maybe that's what Bayern are trying to do. And they were trying to They were trying to loan Tell to Manchester United. But Man United was like, nah, we're not trying to develop your player and then send him back like he was never at the club in the first place. Nope, not trying to do that. And I don't actually see anything wrong with that. Oh, my phone was going to fall again. Wow. Axel Disasi to Aston Villa. Here we go. Damn. Chukwuemeka, new player of Borussia Dortmund. Love that. Okay. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. See, some of these players, bro, some of these loan deals, I do think we could have made a loan deal possible with an option to buy. Because now, brother, we are left with close to nothing up front. Xerxes, Garnacho, Ahmad, Højlund. 4 players we have in our front line for the remainder of the season, for the rest, for 6 months, 5 months? For 5 months, we have 4 players that we're going to have to play across, I'd say 20 odd games, 20 to 25. That's going to be a very difficult task. And that probably tells me as well, yeah, brother, we're going to have to bring in some of the youth then. Chido, Ibrahimov, them man, hey, you man, start training with the first team because we're going to need your services at this point. Do you know what I mean? So we're down to our bare bones, man. Down to our bare bones. And it doesn't make it easier because a lot of these players don't know how to play the system of the new manager. They do not know how to play the system, which brings me to my next point. A lot of people already want to call for the manager's head or are calling for the manager's head already. The man's been here for 3 months, if I'm not wrong. 3 months and you want him out already. These same people gave, I'm not going to say his name, you guys gave the previous manager life. You wanted him in for another year. Certain people were saying 4 years. When we all saw what was happening under the previous guy. So you give the previous guy as much leeway as you want. On top of that, he's spending money on players that have not made it at the club. You could pretty much say that all of his signings were all flops. All of them. Can you imagine that? And the previous guy brought in a significant amount of players, probably like 13, 14. Until this day, we're paying for every single one of those sins of the previous guy. Every game, a player that he signed is making a mistake, which is why you see in the red colors behind me, by the way. It's red because it's a bad transfer window. Have to be honest. Sorry guys, my phone keeps. Okay, cool. I'm checking my phone just in case something pops up. You never know at this point. You never know. But yeah, it's if you're calling for the manager's head already, I'm not rating you because he's been here for 3 months. For God's sake, like how on earth? What did you expect? Amorim comes in and all of a sudden, boom, title charge. Nah, this is a man who's played one system his whole life. He's played one system everywhere he coached at. He played that one system. But now because pundits and people and fans want him to change his style and change the tactics and change the system, he should do it because you lot asked to. Please sit down, relax. Acting like it's the first time someone came to the Premier League and played a free at the back. In fact, right now, as we speak, in the Premier League, some of the teams that we watch, when they build up from the back, they play with a free. So I don't know where this obsession's coming from everyone to tell Amorim, change your system. No. I'll give you a simple example. Arsenal. When they build out from the back, what happens? Does the left back not invert? Yes, he does. Do the two centre backs not spread? Yes, they do. Does one of the midfielders not drop? Yes, he does. So what does that give you? A back three. So what do you want? So what do you want? What are we talking about here? So it's okay for Arsenal and Arteta to do it. And again, no shade. But it's a problem when Amorim does it. Nah, not having it, man. Nope. I'm not having it. I'm not going to... I always have this rule. And you lot know me. I have this rule. It's ingrained in my head. I give every manager 18 months. I give you 18 months. 18 months should be enough. Way more than enough for you to implement whatever you want to implement. Whatever you want to do with the squad. Get players out, bring players in, explain your tactics, this, that, and the other. 18 months, for me, is way more than enough. So, therefore, I will be talking to you guys whether I want to see him stay or leave in terms of Amorim. I will be talking to you guys. Hold on, I need to do some calculations in here. Let's do the calculations, right? He came in, what was it, the 11th of November, 17th or something like that? I can't even remember when he came in, 1 second. Because it was during the international break. So, he came in, it was the 11th. Yeah. It was the 11th. There we go. So, 11th of November, 2024. Plus 18 months. Oh, it's giving me a calculator. Flip's sake, man. Right. So, let's try this again. November. (2024) plus 18 months. There we go. Sorry, guys, it's taking too long. So I will be chatting to you guys on the 11th of May, 2026. That's when I'll be talking to you guys again and giving you my decision on whether I think Amorim should be going or staying. So until the 11th of May, 2026, I don't want to hear no chat about, oh, he needs to leave or he needs to change his tactics. And listen, throughout this time, oh yes, we're going to talk about him. Of course, if he does well, we'll say it. If he does bad, we'll say it. Like in the previous game. The previous game made some questionable decisions. So we talked about it. Well, I didn't because I was working in London, by the way, which is why you didn't see a match reaction yesterday. Awful game, by the way. If he does bad, we'll talk about it. If he does well, we'll talk about it. But you won't hear me talk about in or out until the 11th of May 2026. You're not going to hear that from me. Nope. 18 months is the ground rule for me. because that is enough for a manager to implement whatever he wants to implement. Until then, don't chat to me about he needs to leave. Nope, don't want to hear it. Anyway, no more signings in the winter transfer window for Man United. And again, it is now nearly 20 past 8. Anything could happen. Something could come in, something could change. I don't know. I think it's very unlikely. Obviously, there's still the Pogba rumors there, but I don't know if that's going to happen. But yeah, what do you think? What do you guys think, man? Let me know in the comment section below. Leave a comment if you can. Like, share, comment, subscribe. If you made it till the end of this video, go in the comment section and out of 10, just rate the winter transfer window. Just rate it out of 10. Let me see what you guys think. And also you can put an explanation to your rating so it doesn't just have to be a rating. Anyway, like, share, comment, subscribe, people. And I'm out. Peace.